Presidential candidate Robert F. Kennedy Jr. has claimed that he had brainworms. I'm not kidding. In a 2012 deposition given as part of divorce proceedings, the presidential candidate said that doctors had found a dead parasite in his brain. Now, they first believed that he had a tumor, but according to the New York Times, Kennedy said in the deposition that the doctor believed that a spot on his brain scan was caused by a worm that got into my brain and ate a portion of it and then died. That's a direct quote. So this is literally the most 2024 thing that could happen. I did not see literal brain worms on my 2024 bingo card, but there it is. Now, Kennedy had said that he initially consulted with neurologists after suffering memory loss and mental fogginess. Now, he says that he's better now and that he may have picked up the worm during one of his overseas trips to Asia. So now, obviously, this has caused some speculation that he's not quite mentally fit to run for office. There's been a lot of discussion about mental fitness when it comes to running for president. Now, on social media, people had fun because, again, we're talking about literal brainworms. Okay, so David Burge posted this. Best I can do is 3 geriatric lunatics with advanced worm-related brain damage. That's funny. That's funny. Yale Law School professor Scott Shapiro wrote, political consultant, voters have concerns about your mental stability. RFK Jr., what if I tell them that a worm ate part of my brain? Great. Lauren Stribe writes, I'd never mock someone for their problems, but when RFK Jr. explained his memory loss by saying a parasite worm had eaten part of his brain, I nearly lost it. Imagine a guy whose fame is itself parasitic on the Kennedy family name saying that. Look, a lot of the Kennedy family is not exactly thrilled with RFK's presidential ambitions. G here writes, imagine if the last thing you ate in the world was a portion of RFK Jr.'s brain. Jeremy London writes, the fact that a brainworm starved to death on RFK Jr.'s brain is a joke that writes itself. We really are stuck in a South Park episode. Look, these are absolutely brutal, and I love them, and I'm sorry, it's too good. I don't have anything against RFK Jr. personally, but these are funny. All right? And by the way, don't worry about Kennedy, he's fine. He really is. According to infectious disease experts and neurosurgeons, based on what Kennedy described in the 2012 deposition, this parasite was likely a pork tapeworm larva. When pork tapeworm larvae are found in the brain, that is a condition known as neurocysticercosis. Sorry. I have a hard time with that one. Maybe I have a parasite in my brain. I don't know. No. When asked if the parasite would have lasting effects on someone's mental ability, Dr. Phil Budge, an associate professor of medicine at the Washington University School of Medicine in St. Louis, told Newsweek via email on Wednesday that the bottom line is no. This would not cause lasting effects on someone's mental abilities. So his cognitive abilities are fine. In fact, Budge said the worm in question does not eat brain. It just lives there. Regardless of what Kennedy says, his prior doctor had said, rather it forms a cyst that displaces a small amount of brain. When the cyst dies, there is some inflammation that can transiently affect brain function, but should not cause long-term consequences. So the human brain is it's a fascinating and amazing thing. Okay, it can rewire itself after massive injury. It can do all sorts of amazing things. So let's just say that RFK Jr., he's not crazy because a worm ate his brain. He's just crazy. Okay, he's got some crazy things going on here. Now, when it comes to brain fog, memory loss, let me tell you, I am an expert on both of those things. I have inattentive ADHD, and those are some of the symptoms that go along with it. Now, Kennedy's symptoms, however, it could be a result of something more serious, and that's mercury poisoning. At the time that he was diagnosed with that, and they found the worm, he was actually eating a diet high in quantities of tuna and fish, or I'm sorry, tuna and perch. Okay, two types of fishes. One of them happens to be known for having higher quantities of mercury. So now you would think that with his history of being an environmentalist, and he's done some amazing environmental work throughout his career, you think he would know better than to eat lots and lots of fish. And how did the mercury get in the fish in the first place? Well, that's human activity. Coal burning, cement production, mining, oil refining, etc. There's a lot of mercury that gets into our environment, gets into the soil, gets into the water, okay, and gets into the fish. Waste from consumer, products, dental amalgam, the chlor-alkali industry, the production of vinyl chloride. Again, humans, right? We put it into the environment, and look, even when it gets in the environment, by the way, it doesn't degrade. Sometimes it gets reintroduced by things like flooding. So these are things that need to be regulated better, and not by the free market. The free market will not correct these things. They never will. And the reason I point that out is because RFK Jr. has made some changes in his climate activism, now saying that maybe we shouldn't regulate things as much. Maybe we should let the free market decide. So look, one of the big issues with RFK Jr. is not a worm eating his brain. No, although based on his recent right-wing pivot, it would explain things. Unfortunately, that is not the case, and it seems like he just wants to get votes from non-Trump right-wing voters.